Hi, I'm Joy Macknight, Transaction Banking and Technology Editor at The Banker, and I'm here with Stephanie Marelle, who is APAC Head of Custody at BNP Paribas Securities Services. Thanks so much for joining us today, Stephanie.
Thank you for inviting me.
And here we are in Singapore at Sibos, on our last day of Sibos. What do you think were the hot topics that were most discussed?
Well, there was one word that dominated the discussions, and that word was blockchain. That theme invited itself to all of the discussions that sometimes were totally unrelated to technology. So I'd say that was the main, self-invited person in the discussions.
Excellent. And you were just on a panel, you've just come from a panel about capital markets harmonization. What were the main discussion points?
So main discussion points was the benefits to be expected from harmonization, drivers to sustain harmonization going forward. And I would say the key surprise was one of the polls that was conducted in the audience that led to a bit of debate. And the polling question was around who were the expected beneficiaries of harmonization. Surprisingly, the audience thought the main beneficial organizations would be the global banks and not so much regional banks. Investors would benefit to some extent, and also the markets themselves would benefit to some extent. But the surprise, I think, came from that underweight of regional banks being winners of this equation, and that's led to a bit of debate because I think the panel tended to disagree to some extent with that audience feedback.
Wow, that's really interesting. And obviously earlier this year, the Hong Kong Shanghai Stock Connect went live. What do you think have been the lessons learned in the past year?
Well, there was definitely a lesson learned, I think, from the Asian authorities, or definitely the Chinese market players, in that the key drivers for harmonizations are growth. China, as you know, has reached $6,800 of income per capita, of GDP per capita. And therefore they're at a tipping point. They need to plan for their future growth. Capital markets opening is one of their proposals, and Stock Connect is one of the material elements to contribute to this market opening. And therefore one of the first effects is to think about trading. Trading is going to bring more business, is going to sustain growth. Now the trap is to forget, or to tend to forget a little bit about the post-trade elements. And definitely, I'd say this has been true to some extent for Stock Connect, and is one of the key lessons learned in that indeed growth factors and wanting more business is the key driver for such an initiative. But one of the key traps is to forget about those nitty-gritty details of post-trade and how it should all take place in the real life.
Okay, great. And then just in general, what are the main challenges your clients face, and how is BNP Paribas really helping their clients get through those challenges?
I'd say our clients have a key challenge of keeping up with pace. The pace of changes is a challenge. Making sure they're kept abreast with new initiatives and what they're supposed to do, when they're supposed to do it, when decisions need to be made. Or for some of them, and if we go back to Stock Connect, some of them have expressed a desire to get connected, and part of our role was to educate them on the differences between the Hong Kong market, the Chinese market, how to connect both, how within their organization this could materialize, and the different steps they had to overcome. So it's a lot of education, a lot of explanation on what's going on. So that's just one initiative. If you multiply it by a couple per market per year, it becomes a massive task for an organization like ours.
Okay. And next year, Sibos will be held in Geneva, so we'll be back in Europe. What do you think will be the hot topics there?
Well, we think the hype will continue to be around technology, any of the tech stuff. If you looked at the InnoTry booth, this year was massive, continuous queue in front of it. The blockchain discussion on Monday attracted many more than it could really host. So there was a queue in front of the door 15 minutes before the start of the discussion, which personally I had never witnessed in a Sibos week. So tech is probably going to continue to be the main topic for next year.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a great rest of the conference.
Thank you very much.